Is it petty to go after your roommate over eggs? Yeah. But is it justified pettiness? Yes. So your husband ignored you to talk to an old flame the whole night? To the trash. To the trash this man goes. Take your friend's advice. Click block, move on with your life. Red flags everywhere. Hello guys. Welcome to Honey Hearts. Today we are going to be diving into a bunch of Reddit stories, mostly from Am I the A-hole? But we got a twist today, part of Spooky Week. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Halloween. Yes, I am on theme. Hence, I am wearing one of my Halloween costume earpieces. I'm wearing Minnie Mouse ears, guys. I actually got these from Tokyo Disney in Japan. So, they're being put to good use by being my Halloween costume for this year. Now, today's theme is my fiance made me read these because many of our stories today are actually coming from Mr. Deep Voice, aka my fiance M. You guys suggested this as one of our ideas for videos you want to see coming next. So, very excited to dive into stories curated by Mr. Deep Voice today. Our first story is from the subreddit AITH. Am I the a-hole for getting my friend's mother-in-law arrested? Oh, I'm kind of excited. I haven't taken a look at any of these stories yet. So I feel like this is partly curated stories from M, but also partly blind reaction for me. So I'm kind of nervous as to some of the language or what kind of stories we're going to be jumping into. So OP says, a friend of mine had me babysit for the weekend so he and his wife could go out. I stayed at their house with the kids and we were having a bit of fun. The hangout spot is in the basement. It's a fully furnished kids space. We were watching movies and I left them down there to go upstairs to start dinner. I was working when I heard the front door handle jiggle. I froze, knife mid-motion cutting up the garlic. I moved and shut down the door to the basement before moving towards the front door. It was late, dark out, and the only way to see the porch was from the window where I would be seen too. I was about to look when the banging started. Then a woman's voice demanded the oldest kid open the door right then. She wasn't calling for my friend or his wife, but for the oldest kid, and that scared me a bit. I went downstairs after checking the locks and stayed outside the movie room as I called the police. I explained a woman was banging on the door and yelling for the oldest kid, sounding deranged. An officer came out and I stayed down with the kids. It was their grandmother, who my friend and his wife were no contact with after she tried to test the middle child's allergy to walnuts. She claimed there was no way he was allergic to walnuts because her grandfather had a walnut tree, so it couldn't happen. Okay, first off, I want to say I'm going to applaud Em here. Good job, honey. I like this story so far. It totally read as a spooky thriller. I did think we were getting into a home invasion story. Isn't the normal reaction to knock, ring the doorbell, then wait for a response or something, or call ahead if you're going to drop by, right? Second off, what gets me is the reason that she has no contact from her grandkids is because grandma over here tried to test an allergy. When I think testing an allergy, I think of, oh, like maybe you try to, I don't know, rub a walnut on someone's hand. Like you try a skin test first before you try to like feed them walnuts, which they're allergic to. But her reason just, I'm dying. Oh, pun not intended there. But her reason for testing it was because, forget science, right? Oh, your grandfather had a walnut tree. Not even that he loved walnuts or anything. It's just your granddad had a walnut tree. So there's no way grandkids could have a walnut allergy. Clearly, that's how genetics works, guys. So I am, I, I'm guessing this lady is a little bit delulu, but let's see. Opie says she was told to leave by the officers after checking on the kids. The parents are in the woods with no reception at the moment. Wait, the parents are in the woods? Okay, OP just says that the parents kind of went out and that's why OP's being a good friend and babysitting. But why are they in the woods? Are they camping? I just love how OP just threw that detail in there like, oh, they're in the woods right now. No reception. Okay. He says, or he or she says, the kids thought it was great fun and asked a ton of questions about K9 officers. She said she brought the kids food since a stranger doesn't know them like she does. This woman brought them walnut chicken, walnut chocolate chip cookies, walnut bread. I explained to the officers there was a child with a severe nut allergy in the house, and that looked like enough to kill them. The officers asked who that was for, and she said, for the middle kid. They asked if she knew about his allergy, and she said he doesn't have one, and his parents made it all up. She ended up in handcuffs and taken off to the station to face charges. By the time my friend and his wife got back, she was waiting for her day in court. I explained what happened from my side. Both parents are fully on my side. Okay. I'm really glad the parents are on OP's side. At first, I thought maybe they're going to come back from the woods or whatever they're doing in the woods and then go, oh, why did you do that? Why did you call the cops on my mom? Blah, blah, blah. But it seems like they're reacting normally, rationally. Can we talk about unhinged grandma is, though? Okay, say we believe for a split second she was there out of the goodness of her heart to get food for her grandkids because she's worried about their safety. Who does this? Brings walnut chicken, walnut chocolate chip cookies, and walnut bread in tow? If I didn't know any better, I would think she has a walnut obsession. I don't even know what walnut chicken is. Did you just roast the chicken and throw a bunch of walnuts all over it and then like make a sauce out of it and throw that on there? And who puts walnuts in chocolate chip cookies? Walnut bread I will not beef with because honestly, walnut bread kind of sounds good. But it's just so unhinged to me to bring not only a whole walnut 3-course dinner, but then she specifically says, officers are like, why'd you bring this? For the middle kid, because he doesn't have an allergy. Like, I just imagine her being completely delulu, looking the officers in the eyes and just insisting that she cooked this whole thing up just for the one kid who has a nut allergy. Is she assuming she truly doesn't believe the allergy, right? I would just let the kid have an allergy. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no need to be proven right about this because what is the prize here? Is the prize that it's like, if she wins, yay, the kid was able to eat all of her walnut food. But if she loses, the kid just like, you know, just gets hospitalized. Like, where is the prize in this? Like, why was this so important that the kid be proven to not have a nut allergy? Is this unhinged or not?
Definitely is.
I'm just also, do you even like walnuts?
I think they're all right.
I think they're okay. But would you ever eat, like, would anyone sane, even without an allergy, right, eat a 3-course dinner of just walnuts? This
Unless you're obsessed about walnuts.
is so good pick. Why'd you pick this story though?
I think it was a little bit unhinged. That's why I picked
A
it.
little.
Now hearing this again, there's so many. I don't know. This whole story kind of seems a little bit fake to me. I don't know.
Oh
Maybe
my,
I shouldn't have picked it.
I feel like you think every wild story is fake. See, M's a skeptical, guys. He hasn't seen the crazies of the world yet, like you and I. I am telling, I 100% believe this. There would be people unhinged enough to be like, I just need to be proven right so much, even at the expense of my grandkid's life.
Yeah, perhaps. I just have so many questions about this, which I don't think were answered.
Like what? What's your question so far?
Okay, why did the grandma randomly show up in what seems middle of what evening, I guess, or whatever it is?
Oh, you know what my theory is? I have a theory on this. I think she showed up there on purpose, knowing that someone else was watching the kids because the parents cut
Mhm.
contact with her. So she knew that they weren't going to be at home. So she was going to try and like ram her way in.
I think that's a good point. Now, why are the parents in the woods? Like, what are they doing in the woods?
See, that's what I brought up too, because Opie had said nothing except, oh, they're out for the weekend. I'm like camping? Like, why in the woods? In the woods was a description. Like, I don't know why. Okay, normal people would think camping, right? My first reaction was cult gathering. Because Halloween season, spooky in the woods. It's fall, it's getting colder. Chanting in the woods, for all we know, playing Dungeons and Dragons in the woods. I don't know. Like, that just kills me. But let's see. Opie has a little bit more here. Opie says, family members of theirs have taken to social media blasting me for putting my nose where it doesn't belong. That I was just a babysitter and I'm too old to be watching the kids. That I'm a creep and a jerk for getting an old woman arrested. I don't know where to go from here. People said I called the cops way too fast and should have gotten the eldest because she obviously knew the kids were home. Some said I weaponized the police against her. My anxiety over this is sky high and I can't sleep. My friend said I did nothing wrong. I kept this kid safe. So, am I the a hole? I know she's an older woman. The stress of being arrested can't be good for her, but she was showing up when my friend and his wife were gone with the intention to catch them in a lie about allergies. I thought I did the right thing, but maybe I should have just gone out and told her to leave. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Absolutely not. OP, you are not the a-hole. If anything, I think you reacted just right, very appropriately. Even the parents are on your side. And in my opinion, forget all the relatives, nosy relatives, everyone else that feels the need to chime in here. The parents are on your side, and that's all you need to know. Grandma's low contact for a reason. And I think you trusted your instincts and you trusted what the parents told you, and you did that because you don't know what this woman was going to do. I mean, besides the fact that she's kind of attempting to hospitalize one of the kids for the whole nut allergy, she could have had a weapon. She could have been even more unhinged. She could have, done something violent for all you know. Like, essentially, I think she's a stranger in this case. And you treated her as such and you prioritized the safety of the kids. So I'm on your side. What do you think?
Yeah, well, she did have a weapon. The
Oh, yeah.
walnuts.
Her walnut.
Yeah.
Grandma came in with walnuts ready for a fight.
See, it makes me wonder, what was the charge? Why did she get arrested?
Trespassing, maybe?
I mean, she probably would have left if they asked her to leave, right?
Oh, honey, you're trying to put reason and logic where there is very little of. You really think she cooked up a whole walnut dinner just to see it not being eaten? I don't think she went quietly. I'm just imagining a whole commotion outside the door, like going, "No, no, I'm their grandma. I'm just trying to feed them walnuts. You don't understand, officer. They're lying to them. The kid isn't allergic at all. Let me feed them right now and show you." That's what I'm imagining. She's like, bring out the whole theatrics.
Uh, I wish that OP would have shared the details of why she got arrested, exactly what
Yeah,
was
the
the
actual
charge.
charge,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I wish she shared it too. He or she. It's interesting though that what is it that the relatives are coming at OP? I'm betting that the grandma went and blabbed to the family members and maybe told them some sort of story about it. And that's why all of a sudden everyone's going on social media blasting the babysitter, which is kind of weird because they brought up, oh, that OP's too old to be watching the kids. I'm assuming that OP's a dude based on this because that's not something you would say if it was an older female friend usually watching kids. It might be that OP's a dude. Either way, I think it's fine. OP's a trusted adult that the parents approved of and clearly did his job in protecting the kids here. But let's see comments. First comment from Beneficial Test. Not they hold you acted appropriately at each step of your and the children's ordeal that evening. A judge will decide soon if you acted too hastily, confronting a woman who was stressed, yet able to bang on a home's door with food that endangered a child's life. Another comment, not they hold. You did a great job protecting the kids that were in your charge. Another comment from Motor Juggernaut. Not they whole. Your friends should be publicly shaming their relatives on social media. Where are they and why don't they have your back? Now, OP responds to this one. They blocked their family after the round of, quote, if you don't support her protecting our kids, then we don't need you in our lives. I have been blocking people too, but the stress is just killing me. I keep replaying all the ways I should have done it better, but I just remember the door rattling loudly and worrying over the kids. I'm worried about being called in as a witness for the case. My friend assured me it will be okay, and they are very grateful to have me around. But I still feel bad because of how her family is wording things in the text. But my friend swung by and helped me block them on Facebook and on my phone earlier. They're being supportive, but for them, they can just click block and move on. I keep dwelling. Oh, I feel bad for OP. OP was just doing his job. Uh, I would say though, OP, take your friend's advice. Click block, move on with your life. At the end of the day, these people are just not minding their business. They don't even know the whole story and they're chiming in. I'd say just block and move on, or try to. Try to not stress about it too much.
Yeah, see, that's the part I don't understand. Why would the OP be
Call the cops?
responsible? Yeah, I mean, you can call the cops if there's a stranger at your door
Yeah,
and
yeah,
potentially they're not leaving, right?
yeah. Mhm.
Uh, Even so, but the arrest part isn't like, why would the arrest part be on the OP?
I think it's just relatives looking for someone to blame. And they can't blame the parents because they tried to do that, but the parents are kind of like, "Oh, we're just cutting contact with you. Goodbye, block." And I think it's very hard to direct your anger at someone who just completely blatantly ignored you and moved on, and it seems unaffected. So they're projecting blame onto someone who seems to be affected. Okay, I think OP. I think it's just hard because when someone's spamming you on the internet like, "You're wrong, you suck," you kind of start to maybe believe it a little.
Yeah, but Why would the OP need to go to court for that?
I guess they're worried about being called as a witness.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, they said they're worried about being called as a witness, but the parents, the actual parents are saying, "Oh, don't worry about it. It'll be fine."
Yeah, because the way I was understanding it is that the OP is being seen as, I guess, defendant in the case or
Oh,
something.
no, no, no. It's just grandma.
Okay.
So there is not a verdict yet since the story's pretty new, but every single comment I'm seeing on here is saying not the hill. And I agree. Good job, honey. I'm rating your story pick a solid like 4.5 out of 5. This is a strong start. I like the story.
It's all downhill from here.
No, it is not downhill. Okay, guys, usually this is where I put in a shameless plug asking you guys to please support the channel by hitting like and hitting the subscribe button. But today I got something even better for you guys. Don't take it from me, take it from a comment based on a review from another subscriber. Now, this comment from the channel is from Pigeon Girl. Thank you for leaving a comment. She said, I just found your channel and you are so sweet. This is such a perfect podcast that isn't overstimulating to listen to while working. Thank you so much. Well, first off, thank you for leaving the comment. You're so sweet. I appreciate it. But you guys heard it from her first. Subscribe, guys, because this is my audition to be your new favorite channel. So thank you. Our next story is our wild pick. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, wild pick is just that, a story that's a little kooky, a little bit chaotic, but I wanted you guys to hear it. This one is my pick. Now, the story is from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for declining leftover food at my boyfriend's friend's barbecue after the group ate first, right in front of us? Tell me your thoughts on this if this was rude. I, 37-year-old female, met my now ex, 38-year-old male's friends for the first time at a pre-drink / barbecue he invited me to join him on. They seemed nice enough, but prior to getting there, my ex said that his friend messaged and said the host feels bad because they're having a barbecue and there may not be enough food for everyone. So if we see food lying around after, not to feel bad that we weren't given food. I said, this is fine, of course. I assume he meant that they have already eaten and there would be evidence of said barbecue around. We get there and it's clear they haven't eaten yet. 8 people were invited of the 12 guests to eat. 4 of us were not. When it came to mealtime, the 8 of them sat around a nicely set table and chowed down, like filled their plates and ate up without making eye contact with us, while we stood on the outside of the table chatting. I thought this was so weird. My ex did not, I guess. It was awkward because we were actually starving. When the meal was done, the host got up and said, quote, guys, please help yourself. AKA to the leftovers, lol. I know people are all raised differently, but this struck me as so odd. My ex went and got some food on a plate and came up to me and said, come eat. And for some reason, I just couldn't get myself to do it. I don't even know these people, and it was so uncomfortable. I politely said, no, thank you, and carried on my conversation. Well, my ex was so bothered by this reaction from me, it ruined the whole evening for him, and we actually broke up after that. He broke up with me. He had originally said we would just eat together at the street festival, so I was bothered that he put me in that position, and then was mad at me for choosing not to eat and grabbing a snack on the street. Is this culturally normal behavior for some people? I live in Canada. I could never eat in front of a guest in my home and not feed them. But is this normal behavior for some? Was I rude or in the wrong for doing this? Or was he gaslighting me by being mad and making me feel like I was the rude person for declining food? Am I the a-hole? Some stories I feel like I have to backtrack a little just to make sure I get all the timelines right. So, OP with her ex, at the time boyfriend, so OP and her boyfriend went to a barbecue. That boyfriend said, hey, come join me for this pre-drink, which I'm assuming is another slang for pregame or barbecue from one of my friends. So it's fine. They show up. And you're telling me the host goes to only 8 of the 12 people, hey, so you, and you come sit down and have dinner. And then they eat while the 4 people are just standing and watching. And then right after they eat, they make sure to not have any eye contact. And then they go, okay, we're done. You may now eat. That's so weird. Actually, I don't get the whole not enough food, because if you don't have enough food, why are you hosting at all? I feel like this is one of those where it's just like, It's just so many decisions that I find questionable, leading to a very bad situation. So my first question is, why host a barbecue at all if you don't have enough food? One. Two, if you don't have enough food, but you've already invited 12 guests, why not just have everyone sit down and eat together? And then, just let people know we don't quite have enough food so that people are kind of going to adjust themselves to eat less. Is that not less awkward than having 8 people sit and eat so while the 4 are made to stand on the corner and watch? And then what? Oh, we're done now. Like, I just imagine them dabbing themselves with a napkin and going, okay, we're done now. You can sit and eat the rest of the leftovers. Is that not rude? I feel like in any culture that's rude. No? Right?
Definitely seems rude to me. I'm just wondering, did the 4 people, were they kind of uninvited? They showed up uninvited, or I guess they joined the party or the event last minute? Or how come it was mentioned that, there were 4 people that were,
Just standing to the side.
yeah, like, that makes no sense.
What struck me as weird is, so OP's boyfriend is the one that invited OP, right? But boyfriend was also one of the 4 that were excluded,
Yeah.
which kind of is sending me alarm bells, as in, did boyfriend invite himself and OP, making it doubly weird? Or from the beginning, was there just not enough food and like boyfriend was also excluded? Like, what's the scenario here? What would you do if we showed up to a friend's event that we were invited to, and our friend just went, all right, you, and you get to eat, and you stand to the side until we're done? I think I would leave. I just can't imagine a situation where I'm watching a group eat and they're just like trying to avoid my eyes.
Yeah, that's as a host, I would just, I would be ashamed if I had to do
Right?
that.
It's
Yeah, I
embarrassing.
would rather have everyone eat a little bit less and try to split the food, or
Right? I
potentially try to get more food. In any case, I don't know. I'm just looking for some scenario or some circumstance under which that would might be okay, but I really can't find one.
You're taking out the logic detector. But you know what's even funnier to me though? I would like to give a moment to applaud the 8 people that sat down and ate like there's nothing wrong. That, you have balls of steel. I'll give you that. Because host aside, right? Excluding host, you're telling me the 8 guests or the 7 guests plus host, right? Sat down, ate like there was no tomorrow, avoided eye contact the entire time with the 4 people standing up being left out. And then they just got up like nothing happened and said, come eat. I feel some sort of way. I feel like either the group of 8 plus the host hate the 4. That's my only thing. Like, I feel like this is something you do to humiliate someone or to embarrass yourself. Not something you do to friends, because even when Em and I have hosted to our friends, well, generally have the issue of too much food because then everyone ends up always bringing something, or we over prepare food. But in cases where like we have an impromptu snack, if someone has like a small bag of something, usually that person offers in the group. And then everyone knows enough to like take a small bite. Like, say someone brought a little bag of popcorn, right? No one's like gorging themselves on the whole bag. Like, everyone takes like a little bit. Like, enough. If anything, we have the issue of the opposite. I think no one ever wants to take the last bite of something. Do you agree? It's almost like, no, you have it. No, you have the last bite. You have the last piece. Like, when we're with our friends, it's like you'll see all these plates have like 2 bites of everything left because no one wants to be the one to finish off something. Which I think is kind of funny because I guess, is there a bad connotation with being the one to finish, quote unquote, the plate?
There might be something.
It's almost like you don't want to be seen as like, oh, I don't want to. I don't know. For me, it's almost like I don't want to be seen as greedy. Like, oh, I finished off our plate. But it's so funny because it always becomes the game of no, 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 you have no, 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 you have it. And then guess who ends up finishing it? Me. I end up finishing it anyway because, okay, in addition to actually wanting the food, it's just taking up space at that point on the table. But no one will eat it.
I mean, I personally don't find anything wrong if someone else finishes or takes the last piece.
I don't either. But it's in the condition that everyone already had some.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think usually it could be an etiquette to ask, oh, did everyone try it? Or does anyone want the last piece before you grab the last piece?
Yeah.
I guess maybe I think that would be a good etiquette to do.
You know, that's interesting that we talk about portioning food in gatherings, right? I think there is almost like an unspoken rule with etiquette when it comes to food, right? In gatherings. Like you can have the last piece or you can have more than one portion of the plate. Like you kind of mentally split up the dish and you kind of think about how much you can get and still everyone can have some. You can have more than one portion if everyone's already gotten some and the host offers you more. I think that's kind of like the unspoken rule. Like if you are just kind of digging in and kind of grab half the plate for yourself, that's rude. Even if the host is offering it, I feel like that's rude as a guest. Do you agree?
I'd say so.
Now, I think where this rule is kind of weird or kind of not the same way is in public spaces. For example, a buffet. Buffet, I feel like is very much you grab what you want. Like the buffet's job is to supply the food, right? So it will come, like more batches will come. However, I think there is one dish in particular where it's almost like you never know how it's going to go. Do you know what dish I'm talking about?
Probably some kind of seafood.
Yeah, the crab legs.
But even so, I think there's even in public, let's say, I don't know if you're waiting in line for something, right? And you're the person that goes there and grabs like 3 plates of food and leaves nothing behind for everyone else, then
Yeah, you would be an a-hole.
yeah, for sure.
I
I
think so,
mean,
yeah.
just I would find you rude if people were doing that, and I've seen people do that.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
just
I
people.
agree.
Some people are just shameless. They don't think about people behind them. They just get their own and
Yeah.
oh well.
So, let me tell you guys something. You have never been through like you have never met aggressive people until you have been standing in like line at a buffet. Yes, you've heard me right. At a buffet waiting for snow crab legs to come out. And there's a small supply. You have never seen the aggression, like true aggression, I feel like. So, I can tell you a story. So, when I go to seafood buffets because I love seafood, I love to eat, so of course I'm at a buffet. Sometimes at certain buffets, they don't bring the snow crab legs out like either enough of a portion or quickly enough. Like they space it too badly or something. So there's more people that want it than there are legs being brought out. Now, I've been to buffets where people know well enough where, okay, you know, a mini line starts to form around the crab legs when it comes out because everyone wants a little bit. And people who know better and are a little bit more considerate, they'll maybe grab a little bit, like to fill just their plate or like a portion, and then they'll leave. However, certain places, depending on the crowd you meet, they can get vicious. Like I'm telling you, the minute that bucket of crab legs hits that freaking spot or that slot on the buffet table, all bets are off. I'm telling people are slapping crab legs out of each other's tongs. It is ridiculous. It is barbaric. Okay. So I've seen all. So that is my 2 cents on the whole portioning and public etiquette for food portions.
It turns me off from going to those places. To be honest,
Yeah.
I just don't want to be in that space where
You have to fight for it.
yeah, you have to fight for food. There's just or you have to wait long
Yeah.
amounts of time for food.
Yeah. Thankfully, we recently had some new buffet spots open up near us, guys, and there is basically no wait. I love it. And they just bring on the food. And no one's fighting because they just bring out the food. I love it. I love it. So shout out to our buffet. Our next story is also from Mr. Deep Voices Picks. Let's see. It's from the subreddit AITH. Am I the a-hole that my husband is planning to go on a dinner date with a long-term ex? I'm already angry. I'm going to this story angry. This just boils my blood. Like, my first question is, why? Why? Why is this needed? Why go on a date with your long-term ex? And a dinner date too? I'm rolling my eyes here, but let's see. Let's see. OP says, throwaway account. I really need input from people who don't know us so their opinions aren't biased. I'm very emotional and tired, so I apologize in advance for any typos. My husband, Jack, male, 36 years old, used to date Emma, female, 34 years old, for years. They broke up because Jack didn't want to get married or have kids. Emma moved away, and about a month later, Jack met me, female, 30 years old. I don't look like the typical girls Jack has been dating. For example, Emma's super tall, blonde with blue eyes, and has a PhD. I'm petite, 110 pounds, and short. I'm a nurse, I have dark curly hair, and I'm an introvert. Apparently, she was a social butterfly. Jack has a group of friends that he's known since childhood. They're like brothers to him, but from the very beginning, they didn't like me. They still call me the rebound girl. At our wedding, during his best man speech, he joked, "We all thought rebound girls were temporary, but our brother Jack made an honest woman out of her." Everyone laughed. I didn't. They also joked that I'm just a nurse and that Jack downgraded since he has a PhD, technically postdoctoral, from a doctor to just a nurse. For my own sanity, I ignore them and Jack still hangs out with them regularly. Uh, all I'm seeing, guys, is red. Red flags everywhere. Just paint the town red here. This is where does one begin? What a train wreck. First off, I would never hang out. I can never imagine hanging out with a group of friends if my group of friends was calling my partner a rebound. That's so disrespectful. And after marriage, too, they still do that. That is wild. There is zero respect there. Absolutely not. Like no decency, no consideration, nothing for your relationship there, OP, from the friends. And second off, uh, I don't want to say that there's a timeline that people should have when they break up versus jumping into a new relationship, but you're telling me they dated for years and then he breaks up and a month later you guys are together and then I don't know when OP got married, but it a month to get over a years long relationship to jumping into a new relationship, that seems like a very short time. And if his friends are calling you the rebound, I hate to say it, you might actually be a rebound. I really think I'm on point with this one, guys. I don't think I'm overreacting or kind of over dramatizing this one. I think the drama's writing itself here. My problem is, okay, what is Jack, the husband, doing about this? There's so much disrespect. The friends don't respect her or the relationship. The whole joke's about rebound. What is Jack doing? It seems like he's doing a lot of nothing. If his friends feel so entitled to say it on their wedding day, that's not funny. And I have a question for everyone who's ever been to a wedding or have been in the role of groomsman, bridesmaid, whoever, right? What is it with the inappropriate speeches? Fun fact, guys, I'm about to give a speech soon at my friend's wedding, and I was totally panicking. Only because what does one say? I've never been in a speech giving position at a wedding. So I'm all sorts of nervous. But I know one thing, which is after writing it, I'm making sure I am just singing praises for the married couple and only saying positive things. I don't understand what audacity people have to be putting in kind of these inappropriate so called jokes that are just not funny, but they're just honestly, I call them compliment crackers, right? Where it sounds like it's either a compliment or a joke, but the inside, the filling, the main gist of it is you're making fun of someone. Like all of these kind of quote unquote compliment crackers, right? The little slaps and little kind of jabs at the bride or groom. Why say it at the wedding? You can think it. Don't say it at someone's wedding where it's immortalized forever in front of the guests' memories, in front of videos, potentially, recordings, like on their special day. No, I just divorce. I'm dropping the D. We're halfway through the story. Drop the D. Divorce him. Like this is just you need to get away from the group of friends. You need to get away from your husband. Like everyone's a problem here. Now, let's see. Opie says, last weekend, there was a fundraising gala and Emma was there. I saw her for the first time in person. Jack introduced me and Emma said, "Yeah, I know who she is." The guys weren't kidding when they described her. Haha. So much was said. You know, sometimes when you meet someone, it doesn't take a whole paragraph for you to know exactly what they think of you and how they're speaking down to you. This is that. It didn't seem like she was being a girl's girl. It doesn't seem like Emma over here was being nice about it. It just seems like, oh, I know who this is in that catty tone. Like I just heard in my head, guys. Opie continues. Jack quickly changed the topic and asked how long she was in town. She said for a week. And then they ended up chatting all night, reminiscing about old times. I decided to talk to other people. Excuse me? So Your husband ignored you to talk to an old flame the whole night? OP, I think you're underreacting severely. I would flip a metaphorical table. I cannot. She says, later at bedtime, Jack mentioned that he should go out to dinner with Emma. I assumed he meant inviting her over, so I asked what kind of food she likes so I could make it. He said, no, it would just be the two of them. I asked, like a date? And he replied, no, just two friends going to dinner. Why are you so insecure? I asked him, do you miss her? Do you miss being with her? He said, I'm not gonna lie. It felt great talking to her tonight. There's just something about her. I got really upset and told him he can do whatever he wants. But if he goes on this dinner date, I'm done. He thinks I'm overreacting and being insecure. So, wise people of Reddit, is this rebound girl overreacting? Oh my gosh. Ah, every line just blows my top. It's just so annoying. This man's an idiot. No, actually, no. He's not an idiot. He knows exactly what he's doing. What do you mean you need to see Emma? What do you guys have to reminisce and talk about? You reminisce all night at the gala. You want to date? You need like a whole like relationship hangout too? Like, that's cheating. And I'll give him this though. Kudos for the audacity to say to your wife straight to her face that you want to have a dinner date with another woman. I am I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, men can't have female friends or hang out with female friends platonically. But I will say it is so sus if you're going to hang out with someone that you used to be romantically involved with for years and you still have lingering feelings for, very obviously. Come on. This is not an insecure thing. I hate it when they turn it into this whole stop being insecure. It's just a dinner date. Oh, it's just a friendly hangout with Emma. No. OP, I'm so sorry. You are the rebound girl. You need to get yourself out of this situation. Things don't give him the ultimatum of if you go on, it's done. The fact that he suggested it to you and felt it was okay, that's your signal to run. He's done. You're done. Now, there is an update, but before that, let's take a look at the comments. First comment from Dogs at Bot Hunter. Is this for real? How could literally anyone think they're the a-hole in a situation where their husband is going on a date with an ex? Or how could anyone find it ever appropriate to say someone made an honest man or woman out of anyone else? I hate to say it. I am also in disbelief, but the fact that Opie seems to be surrounded by quote unquote friends and other people that are saying she's a rebound girl, she's insecure, she's overreacting, they're just friends, all of this, I think it can be hard to differentiate the truth when you have all these people around you whispering lies and trying to gaslight you into thinking you're the one in the wrong. Another comment from 8 Marshmallows. Your husband and his friends haven't shown a lot of respect for you or your marriage. How long have you been with him and dealing with this? How long is he going to let this go on? OP responded, his family has been extremely kind and respectful to me. Not once did they mention his ex's name or compared me. His friends, on the other hand, thinks it's funny to make these comments. Dump the friends, please. And I am giving Jack zero slack, guys, because he doesn't deserve any. The guy allows his friends to say that, thinks it's a joke, and then also wants to go on a dinner date with an old flame? Be for real. What do you think? What is your judgment?
Too many red flags.
That's just all I'm seeing is red. I'm reading this. It's like I'm emotionally feeling red. I'm seeing red. It might as well just be like, I don't know. It might as well be one of those, what is it? Bullfighting rings, where the person kind of is it the matador or whoever? Excuse my terminology if that's incorrect, but the person who waves the red flag in front of the bull. OP, you are the bull. You are running towards the red flag. Just stop. Just run away. Run the opposite direction, please.
Yeah, the way I see it, I don't think that the wedding should have happened in the first place.
I hate sitting
I am
here,
surprised
but
that the wedding happened.
I think the last straw for me would have been hearing a best man saying that or groomsman saying that at a speech. I would have walked away. I would have scooped myself my wedding cake and walked out. That's
I
it.
mean, I wouldn't go there yet. I think it would depend how the groom in this case reacted, right?
You mean currently or at the wedding
At the
time?
wedding time. If it came out of nowhere and well, the husband to be did not react in any sort of way or didn't find anything wrong with that, then
Well,
I think the wedding would not proceed or would be off at that point, for me at least.
I agree with that. We don't know if husband laughed, but OP did say everyone laughed when the groomsman said that speech. So I'm assuming that included her husband.
That just doesn't, just, that is just wrong.
It is. OP, you have very bad taste in men. I'm sorry, I have to say it. This is just no bueno, girly. All right, there's an update. OP says, it's 4:45 a.m. and I didn't sleep last night. I thought I'd post an update. I decided to stay awake and talk to him when he came home. When he did, I told him, I could have tracked your location, shown up at the restaurant, and done so many things to get my answer, but I'd like to believe you have enough respect for me to tell me. Were you on a dinner date with your friends or Emma? He showed me pictures and said, no, it was all of us, me, my friends, and Emma. I was stupid enough to feel relieved, even feeling bad for accusing him. Then he told me to sit down because we needed to talk. He said that after seeing Emma at the gala, he couldn't stop thinking about her. He decided to take Monday and Tuesday, yesterday, off and spent the whole day with her, while I assumed he was at work. He went on about how strong their connection was, how they couldn't stop talking, and how much he enjoyed being with her. He told me I'm a sweet woman, but he never felt that spark with me. To the trash. To the trash this man goes. I am flabbergasted. Who spawned this human? How does this person exist? You know what I hate the most? When we read these stories where someone is clearly having an affair, right? It's just straight up an affair. And not that it's good or like, not that it's better if they're hiding it, but I'm saying, like, have a little shame. Read the room, guy. Like, he's just painting this like some sort of Disney love story. Like, I met the old flame and something just clicked. There's a spark. There was magic in the air, and it was like nothing ever changed. Dude, you are a married man. Have the decency to end it with your wife and be honest with her before you go on about these shenanigans. I hate it when grown people act like they couldn't control themselves and that they were just swept away with emotion. Like, be for real. This was all premeditated. This is a crime that you have premeditated. You planned this out. He took 2 days off of work, 2 whole full days of work off for this other woman. You, I would be, so he sat on this, okay? So if this happened yesterday, he had the time to be in his feelings, plan this out, take some days off, go on like whole multiple dates at this point. I'm counting as multiple dates, one-on-one time with this other woman. And then he slept in bed with Opie, his wife, when he came back and was just thinking about it and weighing his feelings for them like they're objects on a scale and went, I just never felt that spark with you. So sorry, you're just not cutting it for me. What? I am so sorry, OP, that you're going through this. I'm just going to say this now. The trash is taking itself out. You are so much better without this man. I am floored. What did you think of the story?
I get a feeling that OP was always, I guess, I don't know what the right phrase or word is. I guess like a safety choice for the
Oh,
husband in terms of
that's
marriage. Maybe didn't want
horrible.
to be alone or something like that among those lines, right? That it's just
That's messed up.
it is very strange to me to know why they got married.
Okay, tell me, tell me if I'm the crazy one here, right? I have a very weird view. I think, well, in my personal opinion, maybe weird or old style view. I think if you're gonna get married to someone, right? Like, I'm not just talking about legally, but committing a lifetime with someone. I view it as that, a lifetime commitment. I mean, unless horrible circumstances pop up and they lie to you or they, cross some moral line or whatever it is, or your values just don't align and you find out later on, that's different. But in general, I believe that when you go into marriage, you are committing a lifetime to someone. You are devoting your all, right? I truly believe that. And to me, it is all or nothing. Either I love you just that much and I'm ready to commit and devote 100% of myself or nothing at all. I would never go into a relationship that I thought was safe just so I don't feel alone. I don't understand that because that's just so unfair to the other person too. Because you're almost like using them as a placeholder until something better comes along.
I think you described it really well here. That's what I wanted to say. I think that OP was just a placeholder until someone better showed up.
Or in this case, someone better, quote unquote, better came
Yeah,
back.
yeah, quote unquote better.
Oh, I am so sorry. I'm so disgusted with the husband and hopefully now ex. But let's see. OP says, he kept going on about how sweet I am and that I'll find someone too. I told him to shut up. I said, Emma knew about your cancer treatments. Where was she when you needed a friend? Why didn't she ever call you back then? He went quiet. I feel stupid for ignoring all the red flags over the years and wasting 6 years of my life with him. My next step is hiring a lawyer and finding my own place. I feel so numb right now. I'm going to contact my brother to help me. Thank you, everyone. Oof. Like every new line I read about the husband of what he's saying, it's almost like he couldn't just stab the knife and leave it there. No, no, no. He had to stab OP, twist the knife, and then yank it back out. Dang. Dang. The fact that he's so nonchalant and he's trying to kind of downplay and say, oh, you're a really sweet woman. It's just not going to work between us. But you'll find someone. You'll definitely find someone. Don't worry. That's someone you say after you go on a first date and things didn't pan out. Or like you go on 2 dates and things don't pan out and there was no spark. This is not something you say to your 6-year wife. The way he's just like, it's okay. It's all right. It's going to be all right. You'll find somebody. Excuse me. I thought I found someone until you pulled this. I don't think Jack, the husband, and the old flame are going to last. The fact that Emma kind of ignored the husband during his cancer treatments in their past relationship says a lot. She's here for the good times, buddy. Not for any other time. But if he wants to go back to that, I'd say, OP, you just sit back. Karma will do its thing. I truly believe karma will come back and get people like this. So I say, OP, wash your hands of this endeavor. Get that lawyer, like you said. Get yourself out of this situation. Gross. This man is disgusting. What a childish man baby. It annoys me. Husband annoys me. Honey, you got some old flame hanging about I don't know about?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. I'd be so uncomfortable. He took 2 whole days off. That still stresses me out. The whole 2 days off to have a one-on-one hangout. You mean a date? Well, why not just call it what it is? An affair, a date, a relationship. So first comment from Lil Man from the D. Your husband and his friends sound like complete a-holes. The rebound girl at the wedding is so disrespectful and not funny. Then the ex coming back into play and him rubbing in your face. The guys weren't kidding when they described her. The audacity of this girl. This guy is a total jack. Sounds like they deserve each other. You have deserved someone better for a long time. I agree. Another comment from Cyber Arwen. He will regret. He will find that she was an ex for something. It won't work and he'll come looking for you from time to time. So, sorry. OP responds, he had the audacity to say he realized he was stupid for now not marrying her years ago. Quote, she's the one for me. She's everything I ever want in a partner. We talked about the past. We planned our future. Great. Maybe take off your wedding ring before drooling over your ex. I think this episode will be the record for the amount of times I have smacked the mic. Oh my goodness. The more quotes OP gives to me, the more red I'm seeing. It's just, I guess maybe we do have a theme. Today's episode theme is seeing red. I take off your dang ring before you start a relationship with another woman, for goodness sake. Like, have some shame. I don't know. I feel like some people genuinely, can we bring shame back? Can we shame people back into being decent human beings? I feel like there's too much acceptance now in society. Bring shame back. That's my hot take. People need to be shamed into not being so bold in their cheating and affair ways and being disrespectful. It's just I want to give him some metaphorical slaps. I'm so annoyed. Honey, how did you find such anger-inducing stories? Like I was cold when we sat down here, but now it's hot. It's hot in here. All right. Let me dial back some of the negative energy. Our last story for today is one I picked, and I wanted to finish us off with something a little bit more, I want to say, not, I guess not quite cheery, but a little bit of something to think about. Of course, it's another food one, guys. Our last story is from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Would I be the a-hole if I ask for the eggs I paid for, then the generic ones from my roommate? We have a great egg debate. OP says, this might be petty as fuck, but please tell me, female 22 years old, how I should go about it. So my roommate, male 21 years old, messages in the group chat and says, hey folks, I've used someone's eggs from the fridge. I will return them when I get my groceries tomorrow. When I got home, I saw they were mine, and they're all gone except for one. I don't remember how many there were in there, but I didn't use much, and it was a box of 12 eggs. Now, I don't have a problem at all that he used them, but the problem is he's done this before with other groceries like veggies and eggs and all. And when he replaces them, he gets the generic stuff, like the cheapest option. I'm very particular about my groceries. I take time to choose what variety of apples or tomatoes or eggs, etc. that I want. And at most times, I get the most expensive version because I just like it better. Okay, I feel like this is going to be our little divisive topic for the episode. Be honest. What is a food or grocery ingredient that you would rather or you would prefer to splurge on versus something that you could not care less about? For me, one of those things, it's eggs. I'm not gonna lie. Eggs are one of our bougier purchases, guys. Pasture raised only. We are a pasture raised household.
Yes.
And okay, before you guys come at me for overspending on eggs, I have a reason, okay? Hear me out. The reason why is because Em and I went through this YouTube rabbit hole where we watch many documentaries and all these videos about the differences between the different types of eggs spawned. wait, hatched. Why did I say spawned? Eggs hatched and chicken and farming conditions. So I'd like to say I know a thing or two about chicken farming at this point. Right? Wouldn't you say so?
To some extent, yeah.
So here are our reasons. Let me just condense them out. One, pasture-raised chickens are happy chickens. I want happy chicken eggs.
I don't know if they're so-called happy, I guess.
Well,
I think as happy as they can be.
yes. Like what I mean is they are more ethically raised. Specifically the term like pasture raised means like they can graze in the grass, like they have hours of sunshine, they go out and about. And it's better than free range or the regular kind of cage free. Cage free just means that they're still cooped up, but they're just not specifically within a cage. Free range means like, I think by law, what is it like? They are allowed at least 1 hour of sunlight. And then, pasture raised is almost like the king of the chicken like hotel. I think of like a chicken hotel and they're just out running through the meadows and like getting sunshine. And I could totally be wrong. Maybe it's just 5 hours versus 1 hour sunshine. Regardless, it is something that Em and I are willing to budget for and we're willing to invest in for happy chicken eggs. Our second reason, besides the ethical sourcing part of it, is because I think it tastes better. Like I can literally taste the difference in pasture-raised eggs. The color of the yolk usually is a deeper yolk as well, but it's just more rich. If you ever had a pasture-raised egg versus regular kind of cage-free or, the cheapest option egg, tell me if I'm wrong. You do taste a different level of richness in the yolk. Do you?
I think it's very minimal.
Yeah.
To me, it's.
It's light. I would say it's light.
think it's more visual difference for sure,
Oh, yeah.
and maybe that's what also kind of affects your perception of taste.
Maybe.
But in any case, I would say it's probably more ethical
Yeah.
way of consuming eggs.
Right. So that's our reason. Now I'm trying to think about in OP's situation, if I was spending money for pasture raised eggs, which I'm assuming she spends money on since she says she only buys the most expensive things, right? And my roommate comes strolling in, eats up all my eggs, leaves me one in the carton, and then goes, don't worry, I replaced it and gave me the most basic, cheap eggs. I would be pissed. I don't think, okay, is it petty to go after your roommate over eggs? Yeah. But is it justified pettiness? Yes. Go after your roommate for your eggs. Get your eggs.
I think there are a few preconditions for that. I would say if this is a first occurrence where that happened.
No. No. Strike one, you're out.
Yeah, I'm willing to maybe overlook it, but since Sophie mentioned that the roommate always buys, I guess, consumes her, I guess OP's groceries, right, and replaces it with the cheapest version of it, then I think that is intentional in that
He
case.
just wants your groceries. It's a deal. Wait. Oh my gosh. Wait. Is this not groceries theft? Because think about it. This is a good plan for the roommate. So if his plan is, oh, I'm gonna buy all the cheap groceries and then I'll use up all her expensive groceries and I replace them with cheap stuff. Is that not a deal? He only pays for the cheapest of groceries while he uses up all the expensive ingredients. Is that not a good plan for him? This is no accident.
See, I was gonna say that, but maybe the roommate is just clueless about it.
Oh, using up all eggs except one? That's just okay.
Hey, you don't want to be the last person to get the last egg. I mean, that's just rude, right?
No, but it's even worse that he left the last egg. It almost seems evil. Because you know what it is? It's like, oh, I know I used up almost all your eggs. So here's one. It's worse. If you're gonna take my eggs, take all of them. Don't leave me one egg. What am I gonna do with one egg? Be for real. What am I gonna do with one egg? I can't make scrambled eggs with it because who makes scrambled eggs with just one egg? And if I fry myself to eat an egg, I want 2 eggs at least. Just one? What kind of psychopath eats just one egg in one sitting? I feel you guys are gonna chime in and be like, Fee, it is normal for people to just eat one hard-boiled egg. No, it's not. In a salad, you get multiple eggs, hard-boiled eggs. When you eat it fried, don't you want 2? And also, scrambled, you at least need 2. So what kind of psycho leaves you 1 egg?
I mean, you can potentially use as addition to something. I don't know if you're mixing up, like, I guess, ground meat or something, and you want it.
You need more than 1 egg, though.
One might be
Don't you?
enough, depending on what you're doing.
Don't you justify his egg theft ways?
Hey,
Ugh,
I'm looking for the what do you
the
call it?
silver
Silver
lining.
lining. Yeah, here.
I'm so pissed for Opie. Get your eggs, girl. Fight your roommate over those eggs. No, Opie says, last time he borrowed some tomatoes and they were those heirloom tomatoes that I got from the farmer's market. And when he replaced them, he got the normal ones, to which I just said, don't worry about it. I don't want those tomatoes. Now, this time, the eggs I use are the organic, free range, extra large eggs, and they're expensive, and they're more expensive than the normal ones. But I don't want to use the generic ones just because he wouldn't get them. Oh, okay. Well, OP, I'm just saying, you got to get on the pasture raised ones, girl. Free range, they're like, okay. But pasture raised, that's when you taste the difference, the subtle difference. I'm telling you, once you go pasture raised, you don't go back.
It seems, at least from what we've gotten from the classifications of
Yes.
eggs, everything else is kind of
A lie.
marketing or a lie.
Yeah. In terms of happy chicken, like
Yeah.
ethics, but
Besides the pasture raised, but who knows? For all we know, pasture raised is also kind of like, I don't want to call it a scam, but also
at least it's the best scam. Like it's the best condition, like agreed upon by all the farmers and all the legal classifications. You guys can fact check us on this. Please do, actually. Okay, tomatoes is something I don't care as much about. So I don't know the difference. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know if there's a difference between heirloom tomatoes versus like using like Roma tomatoes. If am I right? Roma tomatoes is a type of tomato, right? I don't know. Is heirloom tomatoes like the big juicy plump ones? Maybe. But if she got them, if OP got them from the farmer's market, I I get it. They're probably a little bit better looking. They're maybe juicier. I don't know if there's a big taste difference, but you probably paid the farmer's market price for them. My beef here is how dare this person steal your groceries? I would get into a fight with my roommate over this, for sure. Like I can overlook noises, I can overlook weird sleeping habits, snoring. I can overlook a lot of things with a roommate, but food theft is something I will not tolerate.
yeah, there's definitely a difference between types of tomatoes and
In taste?
how they were grown as well. Usually,
Mm.
the cheapest tomatoes, at least for me personally,
Mhm.
they taste very like, I guess,
Flavorless?
flavorless. Like basically just mostly water.
I see.
There's not
Yeah,
much
I know what you
not
mean.
much flavor.
Yeah.
Um,
Not only did they rob you of your ingredients, they replaced it with flavorless ones. Oh, I see. I kind of get why OP's saying for some of the thievery, she's kind of saying, no, don't bother replacing it. Because it's almost like pouring salt on the wound. It's like not only do you feel the absence of your ingredients, but now you have to taste the bland, worse version of the ingredients. That's sad.
In my opinion, OP should just have a talk with the roommate and get it all like
Sort of like
s- get
resolved.
get get us all sorted out, right? Just say if you're gonna borrow something, please replace it with the same exact one. Or then if you cannot do that, then you're not allowed to borrow or not allowed to take the ingredients.
I agree. I agree. Why do I have a feeling this person's not going to stop though? I don't think this person's going to stop OP. And I don't think they're going to replace it with your expensive ones either. I really don't. I think it's intentional. I think it's malicious. But let's see. So OP says, so would I be the a-hole if I say anything about these things? Or if not, then what should I say to him? I don't want to make it too awkward, but would still like to address it. Well, I think Mr. Deep Voice gave you a very good, almost like a prompt to say.
Yeah, just have a simple conversation. That's it. I don't think there's anything awkward or strange about it.
See, the prompt I had for OP in my mind, I think I need to tone it down because I would approach this very differently. Okay, I think a normal, calm person would say, hey, friend. I can't even keep a straight face. Hey, friend. Can we have a talk about the grocery situation? I really invest in my groceries and I'm a little bit particular about my ingredients. So if you're going to borrow, please replace them with the exact same ingredients and brand name because that matters to me. Or maybe you can just not take my food at all. How about that? Wait, I sound so passive aggressive. Wait, you try this. You try it. Give OP a prompt to say.
I think what you said was fine.
Really? It would end.
Up until the part where you went or whatever you said.
I said, or you can just not take my food ever at
Yeah.
all.
Maybe not go there just yet.
I don't know. Isn't this like an unspoken rule? Like, did I ever tell you guys? Okay, back in college, right? When I would visit my girlfriend in college, because I commuted. So thankfully, I love living at home while going to college because I never had to move. I didn't have to deal with sharing my things, my food. But my gosh, you'd be surprised by the amount of theft that happens in college dorms. We're talking nothing is safe. Cereal, forget it. Utensils, gone. Your mom's favorite sauce in the fridge, good luck. That's going to be gone too. Nothing is off limits. When I tell you, one time I visited my girlfriend and I was heating up some wontons in the dorm or I guess floor kitchen. Wontons for me, okay, I'm not gonna even lie, like they smell like not bad, but this aroma of dumplings almost, right? So it's wafting on the and like a pack of hyenas. This is all I hear at the doorway. What's that smell? Who's making food? Like, I don't even know half these people that are sniffing at the door and asking about the food. And it's like that day I was borrowing my friend's kind of like dorm area kitchen because I was visiting her for the day and I was hungry and I packed myself lunch like a normal human being does. I had exactly, I think, like between 6 to 10 wontons, i.e., for myself, for me, a snack for me. And then these hyenas come in wanting a bite. To be polite, I'm like, okay, you can take one. That was my biggest mistake. I regret it. I regret it to this day. Sharing one wonton was the mistake of my life. I shared one. Next thing I know, that person's munching away and it's like, this is really good. Nom, nom, nom. He's going out. He's walking away. Someone else sees him eating wontons. They're like, where'd you get that? Oh, V's in the kitchen heating up some wontons. Next thing I have more hyenas. You know how many wontons I ate that day? Two out of my set of 6 to 10. Do you know how sad that is? That was a sad day for me. Why are you laughing? This is a sad story. It's a depressing story.
Why do you still remember this?
I don't remember the names or the face of any of these people. I just remember the sad event of the wontons. I was really hungry that day. It is a traumatic experience, guys. You guys don't want to know how many times Emma and I have fought over food. Like a lot of our conversations, a lot of our like bickering fights are over food. It is kind of silly. Let this be a moral lesson. If you want to have a happy, healthy relationship in life and through friendship, don't take your friends or roommates' food. I don't know how this became a lecture about it, but Opie, I hope this was helpful to you. I would highly recommend to use my prompt, minus the passive aggressive sentence at the end that I said there, and to approach him as if he is a friend who was so negligent that he seemed to forget how to get his own groceries. See, the passive aggression still coming out. I can't. I can't. So, OP, I wish you the best of luck. Best of luck. And I hope OP gets an update on this because may you get your full carton of eggs. Now, let's see what the comments say. First comment, not the a-hole, but you are being set up to be the a-hole. This may be on purpose or not. Next time something like this happens, reply with something similar to the following. Oh, okay. We got a prompt here. Quote, hey, roommate. No problem at all. These things happen. The eggs you used were X eggs from Y store. I specifically brought those eggs as they're my preferred meal. Please swap those back in as soon as you can. Thanks. Is it just me? There's some passive aggression in there too. If he chimes back that his generic substitute is fine, you can reply, oh, I have nothing against Z brand eggs. I just specifically buy X eggs as I particularly prefer them. Since I brought X eggs for myself and you used them, please return what was used. It still sounds so passive aggressive, no matter.
Yeah, to me, the whole adding the generic brand mentioning of that is just so passive aggressive. Like you don't have to say that.
Let me translate this. This comment is almost saying that OP should say, hey, so I bought real good authentic eggs for me to use, but since you stole them, please return them because I don't want to use your normal basic poop eggs. That's what it sounds like. Comment says, he may push back again. This is where you turn the tactic around. Quote, wow, it kind of hurts that you would use something of mine, not replace it and blame me for it. I bought those for me. I would understand you use them and that's okay. But then you don't want to replace them? Your judgment on how I spend my money is harsh, especially since you seem to enjoy the things I'm spending it on. I'd like to enjoy them too. Please replace my eggs. It's so funny though, because it's almost like dancing around the fact of just give me my dang eggs. Give up your dang eggs, please. Another comment, quote, if I crashed your car, would you accept a Hot Wheels as a replacement? These comments are savage.
I mean, it's not even crashing. It's more like, I stole your car.
That's true. I stole your car. Here's a Hot Wheels. I'm dying. Another comment, that's fine. They were the organic free-range extra large eggs, so please get the same ones. No matter how you slice this or dice this or say it. OP, I think I would agree. You're kind of being set up as the a-hole because it's almost like if you bring it up socially, it sounds so dumb to say out loud, right? To create a fuss and kick up this whole thing over eggs. But be for real, it's not about the eggs. It's about the principle. They're taking something of yours and replacing it with something of lesser value and worse. That's what it is.
And I think what makes it worse, well, I would say, okay, it happens once. It happened once. I could let it slide, right?
Yeah.
Like that is okay. Things happen, right?
Yeah.
But if it keeps on happening, then that is
It's on
a
purpose.
problem right here.
It's on purpose. I think, okay, of all the stories we read today, oh man, I can't pick a favorite. I think they were all good. I think I'd have to rank it based on anger inducing. I think the story 3 with the husband straight up telling his wife, it's not you, it's me. Like playing that whole kind of stereotypical trope and saying, oh, like we just don't have spark. That one was pretty high up there for me. And then this egg story also, it stresses me out, guys. I'm stressed. I'm sorry. I usually leave you guys with a relaxing story, but this one feels more like a stress-inducing one over freaking eggs. I hope you guys enjoyed these stories and give M or Mr. Deep Voice a round of applause as well. because he picked some good ones. I have to say, these are pretty dang good stories. I thoroughly enjoyed reading them. They even had some sort of a spooky element with the first one there, with the whole mother in law banging on the door, demanding her kids or her grandkids eat those walnut breads and walnut three-course dinner. So, a lot of wild stories today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, do not forget to hit like on this episode and subscribe, guys. We are so close to 3K. And if you're listening to me on Spotify, don't forget to give me 5 stars. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.